Hey guys, Jaden here. Uh, on a little bit of a sadder note, unfortunately. Uh, we lost Stan Lee today. Um, it was announced earlier today that he had officially passed away, and it it really stinks. Now like I didn't know Stan on a personal level. I never met the guy, if I'm to be perfectly honest. I was going to one year at Comic Con, but the line to go see him was outside of the building, and I was like, yeah, I'm not sitting in a line for 3 hours just to meet one guy. And it honestly it stinks that he's gone. Like one of the funniest things to me was like watching the Marvel movies and always seeing his cameos and all the theories surrounding Stan about why he's always in the cameo, why he's in every Marvel movie as a different character entirely. Um, he did a lot of stuff. Like he he was just an all around good dude. Like I know, like there was honestly a lot of controversy surrounding him, but he always just genuinely seemed like a really cool dude. Like I know a couple people who met him, and they said that he was like the most down to earth dude. Like, he did a lot of stuff. He was in Lego Marvel Superheroes as himself. He was himself in the Phineas and Ferb Marvel special. Yes, I saw it. Not because of Phineas and Ferb, but because of Marvel. He was the janitor in Ultimate Spider-Man. Stan, I, though, like, there was a lot of stuff that I'm sure he was dealing with personally. You could tell he really loved what he did. Um, and I just wanted to make this video to thanks Dan for everything, for my childhood, for just giving me superheroes to look up to as a kid. Like I know this is get like I don't want to be too dramatic about it, but I've looked up to Spider-Man since I was 4 years old. Like there was never a hero who meant more to me than Spider-Man did than he does. And I feel like people like there are a lot of like people out there who aren't as into superheroes and they see people like us that get super emotional about stuff like this and they're like it's just a comic book, like they're just fictional characters, like they don't matter. Well, they do matter to us. And like I teared up when Spider-Man died in Infinity War just because he means so much to me as just a character, as a role model. And I remember, my grandma told me about Stanley, and I was probably like, what, 5 years old. I was like 5 years old. I remember when Disney had officially bought Marvel, and they were playing the old Marvel TV shows uh, on Jetix, not even Disney XD, Jetix, which I know, wow, I'm showing my age, huh? And they had the original animated Spider-Man, and I remember how I think it was season five's ending was the Spider-Verse special, and Peter teams up with all these other versions of himself, but there's this one version of Peter who doesn't actually have powers, and he just plays Peter on a TV show. And Spider-Man actually gets to meet Stan Lee, and he thanks him, for for just giving him his life. And Stan even mentions, he made Spidey to just just be important to people. I don't know how else to sum it up. Like like if you were to just come into my room, you know I'm a Spider-Man fan. I got Spider-Man Marvel Legends. You guys have never seen it, but I have a Spider-Man wallet. I'll show it off in one of my videos. I'm too lazy to show it off in this one. I got Spider-Man collectibles everywhere in my room. Like I got the old Spider-Man comics. I Spider-Man Homecoming is like all I watch half the time. Like I don't own a PS4. Like personally, I like Xbox more as a platform. Uh, and I kind of pirated Spider-Man PS4. Don't tell anybody. But I got to play it on the PC, and then I played it over at a friend's house, and like I love Spider-Man that much. I was considering buying a PS4, but I was like, nah, it'd be a waste of money. It's just one game. I'm not paying $300 to play one game. So, but you know, it's not just Spider-Man. Like there are other heroes I've always loved. Not as much as him, but like I like Captain America, I like Iron Man. But in my opinion, Spider-Man he was always and is always going to be the face of Marvel. Like there's no other hero like him, you know? And I don't know, I just like Stan, I feel, has done so much for people and has never asked for a thank you. And it really stinks that someone like him is gone. You know, I saw a Reddit post one time because it was on a try not to get sad challenge on one YouTuber I watched, and it was like the nicest people are always the ones to go first. I was like, man, that's really down, and it's honestly true. And I don't mean for this video to get too morbid, but it stinks because I don't ever remember there being a bad bone in Stan. Now, like I said, I didn't know him personally, but like I know there was a lot of controversy around him. Like there were some issues with him and his daughter. Like I think rumors were spread that his daughter was abusing him, and like there were more rumors when he got put into the retirement home that the people at the retirement home weren't treating him right and they were abusing him. Like there was a lot of messed up stuff going on in his life. And I remember thinking it was taken to court, and Stan I'd seen Stan, or not seen him, but I'd heard from another YouTuber who got the quote from him, because he had said it to whoever was interviewing him at the time. But the quote was that Stan said he just wanted to fall asleep and die. And it was the saddest thing I'd ever heard, because, like, it just stings that someone who's done so much for other people can be treated like this. And, you know, I just wanted to tell, you know, I know Stan's gone, and it's unfortunate, you know, it happens to everybody. We all move on eventually, but I just want to say, like, Stan didn't just live a life. Stan didn't just like live a life and make comic books. He wasn't just like, okay, yeah, I'll make some comic books and that'll be the end of it. He not only inspired millions of children who are still around today, but you know, in a weird way, he's like shaped all of us. I mean, take any superhero from the Marvel comics that you look up to, and people that you want to aspire to be when you grow up. Like I said, I look at Spider-Man, you know, someone who puts his responsibilities before himself. And I just think, you know, like, if not for Stan, though I would probably still be an all-around decent person, I just don't know where I would be right now if I had never known who Spider-Man was. You know, I still remember to this day watching the old Tobey Maguire movies, back when Stan's cameos were a little less obvious and in your face. Back then, Stan's cameos you had to like actually look for. The only one I can remember is from Spider-Man 2, when he's fighting Dr. Octopus on that building, and the debris is about to fall on a lady, and this guy pulls her out of the way. He goes, "Look out!" and he pulls her out of the way. Well, that was Stan. And I don't know, and like I knew, especially someone his age, I knew he was gonna go eventually, but just it still stinks. So I guess I want to just end this video with, just a big thank you, because Marvel Comics, well, Spider-Man mainly, but Marvel Comics in general, they entertained me for years. I loved reading Marvel Comics. I loved watching the Marvel cartoons. I loved watching anything Spider-Man. I have the complete series. I when I was in New York, I know you guys probably don't know that, but my family goes on vacation and we all go to New York because that's where we're from. We're New Yorkers. But when we were in New York, on our way home, we stopped at, I think, a Target, and I had found, or no, it wasn't Target. We were still in New York. It might have been Target, but it wasn't when we were leaving New York. I'm sorry. When we were still in New York, we were going to buy Infinity War, and we were all going to watch it. No, we weren't in New York. I'm sorry, my mind. But we were all going to watch Infinity War, and then we were going to head home tomorrow. And I remember I found the Spectacular Spider-Man Complete series, and I bought it because that's all I remember watching as a kid, was Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, yeah, there were other things like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, but no other hero has, like, meant as much to me as Spider-Man. So, I want to thank Stan for making Spider-Man a reality. And I'm sure you can still find it. There have been plenty of people who have told Stan, no one is going to like Spider-Man. No one's going to like this hero. This hero isn't going to make sense. A spider and a man is unnatural, but he made it work. And in my mind, in my honest opinion, there are two superheroes who represent where they're from. And that's Spider-Man and Batman. Spider-Man for Marvel and Batman for DC. Now, I don't want to hear no Superman. Superman doesn't matter. Spider-Man and Batman. So I guess I'll just end it with this, because I've already spoken longer than I really wanted to. Thank you, Stan, so much for making not only mine, but millions of people's childhood, for giving us heroes to look up to and aspire to be, and for just being an all-around good person, because honestly, in a world like this, it's all you can be. So with that being said, rest in peace, Stan. Rest in peace.